Hello, my name is Eduardo and today I am here with another tutorial. I am with the part 2 for this radio app, okay, this very simple radio app. And well, basically we have what we did in the previous tutorial. It was this, a very simple thing with just one button to play and one button to stop, okay. If you remember, we only had one station, so when we play it, we wait a little bit. Yeah. Oh, let me remove my earphones. And then we just stop it, okay? Well, today we are going to improve some things in this because we need the volume, okay? We need to control the volume and we need more things, okay? So let's start. The first thing that we need to do, let's save this project as mp3 player part02. If you want to have this kind of files, please check my Patreon page, okay? Well, that's it. Just let me move these things. That's it. Let's go to screen number 2. This is the one that we are working. So we have this. Now, as I told you, we need a slider. We are going to use a very simple slider here to control the volume. So if you check the volume component, we have some values here. The maximum value for this, it is 100. Okay, so we are going to use this value for our slider, and the minimum value, let's keep it in 0. Now the standard position or the default position, let's set it to 50, and that's it. Okay, now in this case we go to the blocks now. Then we are going to check the slider and we are going to drag it over here. So, and then we need to change the volume. The volume, it is in here, set player volume to, and let's use this block, the thumb position, okay, from the slider. And in that case, that will change the volume, okay. So we can also drag a label to see the volume, but let's check what happens. Oh, we need to change the size of the slider. Okay, I'm going to change the size of the slider, and we're going to do that while the app loads. So we go here to initialize and we are going to set its size to maybe, I don't know, maybe like 50% of the screen. That would be really good. So to do that, we are going to use here some blocks and we are going to use some math. So based on the width of this screen, so this is the width, remember, the horizontal value, we're going to multiply this value times 50, 0.5, that is the 50%, and we're going to set the slider width, that's it. We also have this block here, okay, so you can use the width percent, but I guess we're going to use the initialize. So now we just do it here, and that's it. Other thing, we can change here the screen to center, and that's it. Now we can play, and volume is in 50, remember. Let's wait for this. And 0. 0. and 100. Now what if we want to display the text? Well, really easy. We're going to make just drag a label, and maybe we are going to use an horizontal arrangement to drag this guy here and this other here. And in the horizontal arrangement we are going to center everything, and we are going to use field parent for the horizontal arrangement. The text here, and maybe we just use here name, volume, and maybe we rename it to volume label. That's it. Then we have to go here again to the blocks, and let's say if we can do this, every time we change the slider or the position of the slider, we want to refresh the text in the volume label. And maybe we can use join to set this to volume, I leave a space, and then I can use this property or the same from the thumb position. So volume, no, it's not in here, sorry. You need to use the one from thumb position. Duplicate, and that's it. You have volume, that's it. And maybe we need this initial value when we load the screen, and we're going to set it to, we remove this one, we duplicate this one, and we set it to 50 when we load the screen. Okay, remember we have this here, volume 50. So, and that is when we load the screen. So let's refresh the screen, and that's it, volume 50. And now we can just drag everything, and that's it. And we just check. We just wait for this. And that's it. We have it like that. Now we need to make more things, right? Just to keep this video simple, today we are going to add more stations, okay? And also maybe the name, but to add more stations we need to organize this information. We created a procedure to play, well, this is not a procedure here, okay, to play this if you check the previous video. So in that case we are going to change here this to make it a procedure. This is going to be the play procedure, and we are going to drag all of this in here, and we are going to drag it over here from the procedure. And now we have just one station, so that's why we are using this. But what if we want to add two more labels, one for the name of the station? Okay, so maybe we have play, we can put it over here, and maybe another one, and maybe you have like the link or something, so maybe that you can use those things. So I am thinking, if we have it, let's use just one to keep it easy. So this is going to be the station name. Now we have the station name, label, and we set the default value to radio app, just to have it over here. And then we go here, and we are going to create here a new variable, and this variable it's going to be station names, and we're going to create this one, and we're going to set it to a new list. Sorry, we're going to create a list, From the other tutorial was just checking some names from stations. Remember, to get some stations I use, well, in my case I use VLC, and I go to IceCast radio directory and I get some of these and try to them if they work or not. Okay, so for example this one, dance one, we just play it here. If it's not working, well, sorry. Not working. This is working. Well, that's the idea. Okay, so check the previous video to get these things, or you just copy these addresses. Well, once you get your names, you have to insert them in a list. So I just copy them from the other app, okay, to make these things easier. So I have two lists. One is the station links, okay, so these are the addresses of these ones. So, and the other one is for the name, so I have to write the names of the station. For example, Paris 1 is the name of the station, and this is the link, okay, to the streaming. In that case, I just have it there, and you have to order there in the same way. For example, let me check where is the one I like. Initialize this one. So for example, this one that I have here, that is Electro 192. Let me duplicate this one to add it here. I'm going to add it to this, okay. So I'm going to drag here a new item for the list. Remember, it's a variable or it's a new list, make a list. So the link goes here, then goes the name in the same place, okay. So for example, this one is in the first, so the name, it will be here, okay. So now the name, maybe I don't have the name, so I just change the name to whatever I like. For example, let's call it DJ Mac Station. So I'm just inventing, okay. So, and then you have the name for this one. The name for the second stream is Tone FM. FM4 is for this one, okay, and that's it. So, well, now you have two lists, one with the links and one with the names. So now let's destroy this because we have it already. So now we need to change something in here. When we play, we want to play it, what we have for the source, for the station link. So we need to create two things, two new variables. One is for the current station, that is the name of the station, and we are going to set it to the default. The default will be this one, okay. So we are going to use this current station, and in this case, two things. You can use the names, or you can use an index, okay. So for example, if I want to say that the current station is this one, I just drag it like that, but maybe it is just one, the number one from that list, okay. So I have to use list, and then I have to use select list item, and then I use index 1, and then I use here the list. The list is stations links. Okay, so that is one way to do it. Okay, so well, at the beginning it doesn't allow you to make that thing because you cannot load the list in a new variable, but don't worry. To fix that, you just set this to empty list, or to empty value, to an empty value, sorry, like this. And when we load the app, we're going to set the first list, the first station to that. So we're going to select the list item from the stations links to index 1 links. Okay, so we are going to select this one. We're going to go here. So we have the number 1, okay, index 1. So that means that the source now, it's not this, it is just current station. This is the link, okay, current station. So, and maybe to make it more clear or clearer, link, current station link. And that's it. In that case, we will have that one. Okay. Now, if we play it, okay, so let's refresh the screen. We will have the same. We refresh the screen and we just play the button. And that's it. We have it over there. Now, what's next now? Well, we want to display the station, the radio station, the name. To do that, okay, we're going to make the same here. Okay, so we're going to set the text, station name text, and we're going to copy just this, duplicate, but instead of the link, I don't want to display the link, I just want to display the name. So I go to the global stations list names, and they have the same index, remember? So now if we do it, we have DJ Math station. And that's it. Now, how to change stations? Well, you can add another button to go to the next station, or you can add a list picker or a spinner. So let's drag spinner here, and this spinner, it will have all of these elements. So now we have prompt. Let's create the blocks for the spinner. So for the spinner, we need to set its the names from the station. So in this case, I will go to elements, and the elements for the spinner will be the global station list names. Okay, so if we do it, now we have the names of the stations. Of course, if we select, nothing is going to happen. Okay, so don't worry. So now let's think about how to do this. Okay, so if I want to, what is the thing that you want? For example, if I just click and then change to this name, I wanted the app to play immediately, or I just wanted to do it when I selected the name and then just press play. Okay, so what you want? Okay, so that is the idea. So what's the point? So imagine that I am listening to the previous station, to this one. So when I play this, I want to stop the current station and then display the spinner and select another station, or I just want to select this one, select my station and stop the other one and start immediately this one. Okay, so this is what you have to think about. So I guess the best thing that we can do, in this case using just one button, okay, for example, if we selected this one, La Nueva 504, and maybe my station is playing, okay, so I need to change my play procedure. For example, now my play procedure, it says it's playing, Okay, so if it's playing, we play it, we can stop it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so but check, we have station name, we have the name of the station that is current, the current station, that is this one. Okay, now we need to make another thing. So when we use the spinner, after selecting something in the spinner, we are going to what? We are having here just the name, but we need the links. Okay, so we need to set the station or the current station link to the selection. It will be like, for example, the name of the station. Okay, so in this case we need to use here a very simple procedure to guess to know which selection to take from the other list. So in that case, check, I know it sounds quite not confusing, but no, don't worry. For example, in this case is in listing at items, so we need to check index in listing, select list item. We are going to select a list item from the list. Which list? From the station links. The index, we know the index. Which is the index? Well, based on the spinner, okay, if you check in this one, we have spinner selection index, and in that case we are going to have the index. Okay, oh sorry, we have an ad. Well, I wanna see that movie. Well, so now how can we know it? So for example, if you check what we have here, okay, we have, let's do it. So, and the result is this one, electro, because it's the one that we have it. Okay, so now, but what happened if I selected FM4? So now let's do this one, and now change to FM4, that it says hear me.fm. So let's check the list. That is FM4 is the third. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's correct. So we have changed the current thing. Okay, so now maybe if we play it now, but it check, the name is not changing in here. Why is that? Well, in that case it's because we have the name in the spinner and we have the name here, so it's like having two names. Okay, but let's make it different just to avoid these things. What if we set the link here instead of the list names, because we have it in the spinner? We use the link and we just do it, and that's it. It looks good. Okay, now here we need to refresh this text every time we select from the spinner. So we are going to set the text to global, and we are going to change the index to the spinner thing. Okay, so well, that is basically the idea. For example, if I change to DJ Mag again, it has electro, and we have auto DJ, DJ Mag, and that's it. Now let's play it again, the first one. Sometimes they take too much. Okay, now what happens if I change to the next station, that is Tone FM? Now we are listening to the other one, so we need to change this. What happens if we stop? We stop. We wait a little for this, and we need to play it again to play the new station. We just wait to see if the station is working or not. or if it's compatible or not. Sometimes that happens, okay, that you are trying to play something that, well, it's not compatible with. And that's it. Okay, and I can change to the next one, so I have to stop it and play this one, or check. Let me just drop the volume. So let's say that we are playing this and we change to the next station. So when we change to this station, okay, I want to stop the current station, okay, and I want to change the text to stop. I want to stop it, okay, and I want to play the current one in the spinner. So to do that, maybe we can drag the play procedure, maybe. So let's see what happens if we drag this one here. We're going to play the current, okay, so let's see if this is working properly or not. So I'm going to do, let's select this one, sprite layer radio. So it's stop. I don't know what's happening. So that's why you need to try and these things. Just stop everything. Okay, so I guess we need to create a special procedure for this. So in that case, check. We're going to play the station. So now we want this. If we're playing this and after selecting the spinner, we want to play the current. First, we need to stop the component. So we need to stop the component. Okay, I mean the player. Then after we stop this thing, okay, remember that we set the station link in here. We need to change the source of the player. Set the player source to this link, so the global current station. So I mean this one, global current station link. So the current one that we have selected with the spinner. And let me just drop this thing. And after we do that, okay, so I guess the name will be like refresh. So we need to call the play button, the play block. That's it. We need to do that, okay, after we selected this and everything is inside this frame. So maybe this is a play procedure for a spinner. Play spinner. And that's it. Play spinner procedure, and then we just call it to play spinner, and we're going to play this selection, okay. So and maybe this button is just needed to stop, but let's check what happens now. So we have this, and we're going to change to this one. So now it's going to set the current link, refresh the information, and stop the player, set a new source, and play again. So that it's setting. And that's it. That's the way we have it. So let's refresh everything. So let's change the background color to something like gray. One advice here. I made a mistake here. I didn't stop. Okay. Now check this thing. I didn't stop it. So now it's not easy to stop this thing because it is like running in the background. So I cannot stop it. So I need to close App Inventor to avoid that thing, because if not, I'm going to have two players playing. I cannot even control this. I have tried many things, but it is like an error, because thinks that is another player. Okay, well, to do that, just close App Inventor, open it again, reset the connection, iCompanion, and you just change this to QKFTMC. Then we have here, we can play it using this button or not. For example, if I play it like this, I select this and I select my station. Okay, maybe it's going to play, but the button, it will stay in play because it's not changing. Okay, so well, what happens if I do it like that? So I need to set the play button text to stop. Stop, stop, stop. So I need to change this to stop, because it will play something, so it will be playing, and maybe that works. So let's say I select here this one. Okay, just give me a second. And that's it. Now we can maybe stop it. And we stop it. Well, I guess that's the idea with this second part of this tutorial. I hope that it was understandable. So we add this thing, the slider, and we add also spinner to select the stations. We add more stations, okay, and we add the name of the stations, the link of the station. Okay, so well, that was pretty much the idea. Not very complicated, I guess. So maybe here not too orange, maybe too something dark gray, and this one too light gray. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so in the next videos we will improve more about the interface of this. We're going to add some other features to this. So my name is Eduardo. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to check my Patreon page if you want to have this kind of source files or this, or if not, just give me a like, okay, to support this kind of videos. So I will see you next time. My name is Eduardo. See you. Turn this thing along. Now I gotta go. So,